Hey folks, hope you're doing good. Finally got to the last day of the year. Going to see the back of 2020. I think we're all happy to see that. But in some ways, it's been a good year. I've enjoyed doing this show. It's been superb. It's growing nicely. We're going to be growing nicely into the new year as well. So yeah, tell your mates to get on board and all the rest of it. Now, what we're going to be doing today is rounding up the last of our bands. And these are the post-metal, heavier bands that we've been listening to on the night vids. And quite honestly, these are some of the best bands in the world, in my opinion. I put these guys up there with all the great kind of post-metal bands, Isis, Cult of Luna, Neurosis, whoever you want to mention. These guys are as good as those guys, in my opinion. 10 out of 10. Perfect music. Sounds great in the studio. We've also checked a lot of these bands out live, and they sound just as good live as well. So these are top-level musicians making top-level music. This is as good as it gets, in my opinion. Next level. So we've got a bunch of bands to mention, 7 bands to mention. And literally every single one of these bands is just superb. So if you missed a video or you haven't heard of them before, go and check every single one of these bands out. First band I'm going to mention is Mrs. Piss, which is a great name. Hadn't heard of this band before, came up in my subscriptions, and I thought, yeah, it's a cool name, so let's check them out. And the music was superb. Sexy, doomy, sludgy, got a broodiness to it, got an atmosphere to it, some real heavy parts as well in there, lots of vocal layering, great drumming. So yeah, these guys have got a great sound and a real cool vibe to their music. Big noisy part now. Yeah, it's a great sound. We checked out a couple of tracks from these guys. Very, very nice. I was actually listening to their EP just last night. Just thought, yeah, I'll check that one out again. Happy I did. It's a great late night kind of vibing track and an album, that one is. Next band I want to mention is Feedbacker. This one's a bit different. It's kind of got its own thing going on, this track. Really enjoyed it though. Got a great sound, great energy. Really love the accent coming through in this kind of music. I'm really digging the kind of Eastern European, Russian accent in the music. I think it's just got a great sound. The way the kind of, the accent comes through. It's got a great kind of inflection to it for the words. Just think it sounds really, really cool in the music. So yeah, this was a track. What was it called? Got no idea because it's a foreign name. So there you go. But this track was cool. Bass tone. Yeah. It's distortion on the vocal as well. Dirty it up. A real great low end tone. It kicks it up again for the chorus. So yeah, I really enjoyed this track. I'm getting into it now. I could just keep listening to it. But yeah, that is a great track. I listened to that track a whole bunch of times after checking it out on the show. Very, very nice. Hopefully get this band on a lot more in the new year. Now here's our friends Unverkalt. We had these guys on the show a few times. High quality post-metal, post-rock band, kind of mixture of the two, going through the two different, more chilled sections and then some heavier sections as well. Great female vocal, loads of vocal layering in this band, and stereoizing of the vocals. So you've got kind of vocals panned out in all different areas of the mix, and kind of waving in and coming in waves. So yeah, really, really sounds cool. Nice layered up mix. This is the track Solitude 2 that we checked out. Layered the vocal up so much, it's got a real thickness to it as well. It's quite high range. Female, which can sound quite thin sometimes because they've layered it up so thick. It sounds really dense and nice because it's all stereoed out. It's wide as well as thick, so it's got a real great sound in the mix. Yeah, these guys do all the moves right. Post-rock, post-metal. It's what you expect from this kind of music, but that's because it's just such a great sound. It's such a great vibe and energy, this kind of music. I mean, I really think this is some of the best music in the world. Now, here's our friends Haven, and these guys are a super cool band. I really like everything about this band. They sent me a t-shirt as well, which is super dope. But as well, people in the band have got on board. They enjoy watching the videos and checking out other bands as well. So yeah, this band's super cool. One thing I really like about this band as well, aside from their great music, is the singer on the stage and how much he gets into the music and how much he's in the zone on the stage. I just love that. I think it takes a live performance to the next level when you see all the people, or at least one person on the stage, really in the zone, really feeling the music. It means something to them, and they're on the stage to perform and give you a part of their kind of soul, and it's all about that. It's really important. So I friggin' love that. It just gives an extra authenticity to the music. It gives it a passion, and I've spoke about passion loads of times on this show, that great music is great music, but great music with a passion behind it. And when you can see the people in the band with the passion as well in the video, it's just, that's the X factor in music as far as I'm concerned. It's the passion and the kind of, the real love and the fact that the music's in your soul that takes your music to the kind of X level, X factor that you can't reach if you haven't got that passion, if you're just phoning it in, if you're just doing music by the numbers. So yeah, these guys are superb, really, really great band. Heavy as well, these guys. Some real heavy sections, but also breaking it down into real nice atmospheric, beautiful sections as well. So they take you on a journey with their music through harshness, big energy, and stripping it right back. Heavy band these are. Yeah. You just feel it with these guys. When you're watching it as well, you see the singer in the zone, everyone else is feeling it as well. That's what it's all about, in my opinion. You're meant to be able to rock out to your own music, I make music for myself primarily, and if other people like it as well, that's a bonus. But I see a lot of guys, and I've seen a lot of bands in the past who are just phoning it in, and I always just think, man, how can you not be enjoying your own music? But these guys love it. Now, this next band I want to mention, all of these bands on this list are just so great. Literally 10 out of 10 bands. I can't recommend these bands enough. So great. This is Labirinto. We checked them out a couple of times. We checked them out live and in the studio as well for the same track. Just superb band these guys are. They can do it live. They can do it in the studio. Perfect band. Just, 10 out of 10. So yeah, these guys are amazing. Wide sound, deep as well with all the layers of guitar. Great drum sound. It's not really right just playing a kind of minute of these tracks. There's so many sections and there's so much stuff going on. We take these 6 minutes to get to this point in the song. So just playing these short bits of these kind of tracks really isn't showing them off to their fullest. You got to go off and listen to these bands properly, and they're the kind of bands as well where you really want to listen to the whole album, because these are album bands. They're the bands where you still need to set aside a good hour to listen to their album and kind of really sit down and listen to it properly. But it's worth it when you do it. This next band I absolutely friggin' love. Bought their t-shirt, Laugh Fin. We only checked them out once or twice, but I really want to check them out more in the new year. But I did go off and listen to their album and all the rest of it, because I just thought this band were absolutely superb. Heavier band as well. Some heavier vocals in there. So yeah, these guys were just great. Great guitar tones in this band. I must admit, I do like my post-metal with a heavier vocal. I like it when it's real heavy and then stripping it back to some of the more kind of atmospheric and emotional stuff. But with post-metal, I like you to go real heavy, You've got post-rock for the kind of less heavy, more emotional stuff. But if you're going to be a post-metal band, I think you do need to push it hard. You need to have some sections in there that are real heavy. And bands like Haven, Labirinto, Laugh-In, and the next band I'm going to mention all do that superb. They've really got some heavy parts, crushing parts that are deep and layered and wide, and got big heavy drums and weighty toms, so shouting vocals as well, so you get that dose of real crushing music. But then they break it down into something more atmospheric. So that's what I say, this music is kind of really the only music you ever need to listen to. If you're going to be trapped on a desert island for the rest of your days, could only listen to one style of music, I reckon post-metal is probably the way to go, because you just get a flavor of everything in there. You get the heaviness, you get the breakdowns, you get the more chilled, atmospheric, kind of post-rocky, emotional stuff. And then you get the build-ups and into a crescendo and back into the heavy stuff. So you really kind of just get the full menu with this music and its quality. And it's normally done by high-level musicians. So as I say, this is just the top. This is the top of the tree, in my opinion. This is Eryn Non Dae. These guys are superb. We're going to listen to this whole track. It's 6 minutes long, but we'll listen to it. We've only been going 14. But yeah, this is The Decline and the Fall. These are a heavy band with more chilled out sections as well. Just everything I was just saying all in one. But all of these bands are pretty much that as well. Great bass tone, great guitar tones, interesting drumming. Crushing, deep, heavy, wide, thick sound. Great vocals. They've got a darkness to them, there's a vibe to them. It's kind of unsettling. Big weighty toms. Yeah. All the great sounds. This track is deep and dirty. That bass tone is just ridiculous. It sounds great.
From the distance, it's reached me.
Sick. Yeah. Sick band. These guys bring everything to you. They got the heaviest. I actually forgot how deep and dirty that band actually were. They're really in the pits with this sound. You can hear the strings flapping. You can hear the bass. It's a really great fuzzy bass tone on this one. Got mail apparently. But yeah, this band is just as good as it gets in my opinion. They bring the heaviness, they bring the atmosphere, they bring the emotional side, they break it down, they build it up into big crescendos. They just got great tones on all the instruments, sick vocal, nice vocal layering as well, and atmospheric stuff, different tones on the vocals to sit them in the mix in different places so they're layered up nicely. I mean, it's just got everything going on in this music, but all of these bands have as well today. I played all of Eryn Non Dae, but I could have played all of any of these bands because they're all pretty much 10 out of 10, as good as it gets in my opinion. So there you go. This is the cream of the crop in my opinion. So if you really like just great music with a heaviness, with an atmosphericness with it, and an emotional side to the music that comes through in the sound, this is the style of music and the bands that you want to be listening to and checking out. So to click all the links in the description because every single one is 10 out of 10. And there you go. That's going to wrap up 2020. A year of years. Won't forget this one in a hurry, I shouldn't think. And surely, its effects will last long into the next few years and maybe even decades as well. But yeah, there you go. Hope you have a good New Year's Eve tonight and wake up tomorrow with a fresh kind of turn over a new leaf, a fresh outlook, and let's hopefully get 2021 kicking off to a better start and a better kind of outcome than what's happened with this year. Saying that though, the show's been going great. We've been checking out thousands of great bands. I'm looking forward to getting back to checking out new music tomorrow because it's as much as it is cool to kind of recap on all the great bands that have been on the show. I've left off tons of bands as well that I should have mentioned on these lists, but it would have been way too long. But I also just really now got into just checking out new bands every day, checking out new music, hearing new sounds, hearing new mixes, talking about the sound, and just hearing new bands every single day. I love it. So that's what we're going to be doing heading forward. The queue's already full up till about April, so if you want to get on the show before then, you've got to pay. But it's only €10, so it's not too much. If you're in a band of 4, that's $2.50 each. Surely you guys can sort that out if you want to appear on the show and skip the queue, because the queue just keeps growing longer and longer. So there you go. Have a great New Year's Eve, guys. We'll see you tomorrow for the start of the new year with a new fresh show, new bands on the show every single day going forward. Hope you've had a good one, guys. See ya. Bye.